scared, Potter.
You wish.
We can't believe it's been almost 20 years since you first hit the big screen, Harry Potter. We watched you grow up and save the entire Wizarding world with the help of Ron and Hermione. And now, you've got your own kids at Hogwarts. The 8 movies will always have a special place in our hearts, but there are some things that we feel were missing and would have made the movies even better. Check out these 10 Harry Potter scenes that never should have been cut. You won't believe which scene had Draco Malfoy doing the right thing, for once.
It's powerful, but it's not the same.
The first scene comes from the first movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. It's easy to forget that the Golden Trio weren't always best friends. Ron and Harry hit it off immediately when they sat together on the train, but they thought Hermione was obnoxious for a while.
Are you sure that's a real spell?
She is a know-it-all, and she thought that would make people like her. On Halloween, she overheard Ron insult her.
She's a nightmare, honestly. No wonder she hasn't got any friends.
She ran off to the bathroom to cry and got cornered by a troll. Harry and Ron came to save her, and the rest was friendship history. But after that scene, the 3 kids are walking down the hallway. Harry points out that Hermione,
Mind you, she might not have needed saving if you hadn't insulted her.
Ron says,
What are friends for?
the look on Hermione's face when he says they are friends is priceless. This scene proves how important their friendship is to Hermione. We would have loved to see this in the final cut.
How could I be so stupid?
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets had a lot going on that didn't make it into the movie. The main issue, of course, is that the Chamber of Secrets has been opened. There's a monster that has been released and is attacking kids. The heir of Slytherin opened the chamber, but no one knows who it is. In the books, most of the school thinks Harry is behind it. He is shunned for most of the story. This is downplayed in the movie for the sake of time, but this deleted scene would have shown exactly how hurt and lonely Harry was. He overhears a group of Hufflepuffs gossiping about him.
I mean to say, if Potter's marked him down as his next victim, it's best to keep a low profile for a while.
One of their own, Justin Finch Fletchley, has been attacked. Ernie Macmillan is trying to convince Hannah Abbott that Harry is the heir and that he hates Muggleborns.
Justin let it slip to Potter that he was Muggleborn.
He can't help it that he is a Parselmouth. He's just trying to do the right thing.
They called Slytherin himself Serpent Tongue.
Of course, the real heir of Slytherin is Tom Riddle, aka Voldemort.
Let's match the power of Lord Voldemort.
A lot of the clues and explanations were cut in Chamber of Secrets. One scene was important to Harry figuring out who the heir of Slytherin was. Ron and Harry are visiting Hermione in the hospital wing. She is looking at the diary and says there's a name in there, Tom Marvolo Riddle. Ron recognizes the name.
Hang on, I know that name.
When he had detention polishing the trophy room, he remembered seeing the name on a trophy. Tom Riddle had received an award for services to the school 50 years before. Hermione remembers.
Do you remember what Malfoy told you? The last time the chamber was open was
50 years ago.
They are able to figure out that this Tom Riddle guy is behind it. Of course, once Harry meets the ghost of Tom Riddle, he learns who he really is. That was Lord Voldemort's real name. It would have helped set up the clues a lot better.
It's a brilliant theory, Hermione, but there's just one flaw.
Ron Weasley is such a great character, but the fandom sometimes gives him a hard time. There are times that Ron can be a little dim and oblivious, but he's a great friend to Harry. In Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, there's a cut scene that proves this. Harry wasn't allowed to go to Hogsmeade because his guardians wouldn't sign the permission slip. He's also being stalked by Sirius Black, who he doesn't know is a good guy yet. When Ron and Hermione get back from their first Hogsmeade trip, they tell him all about it. Hermione first notices that Harry is really sad listening to him. She tries to say it was boring. Ron doesn't understand at first, but he quickly tries to make Harry feel better.
Boring? Oh, yeah. Dead depressing.
Then he reveals he bought Harry a sneakoscope to help keep an eye on Sirius.
Okay, sneakoscope. If there's anyone untrustworthy around, he's meant to light up and spin.
Ron doesn't have a lot of money. His family's poverty is discussed a lot, but he spent good money on his best friend to try and help him. Ron Weasley is the type of friend we all need.
I'm really glad you had a good time. Honestly. And thanks for this.
In Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, we learn that there are other wizarding schools. Hogwarts is hosting the Triwizard Tournament. Students from Durmstrang and Beauxbatons visit for the school year. In the books, they all do something to show off their school pride. This scene is downplayed a bit in the movie, and Hogwarts doesn't get a chance to show off their pride. But you might not know that another scene was filmed. Dumbledore leads all the Hogwarts students in singing the school song. Fans of the books know that the school song is sung every year at the first day feast. They also know that there is no set tune to the song. You just sing the words however you want.
Hogwarts! Let's entertain our friends in the best way we can. I'll stand.
This cut movie scene is hilarious. The song sounds like a train wreck. Victor Crumb's face is priceless. Plus, we get to see Draco Malfoy totally appalled by Crabbe's singing voice. We can't believe such a funny scene was cut.
Albus.
Snape on chaperone duty. This next scene is also from Goblet of Fire. Imagine for a minute that you are a teenager and Snape is one of your teachers, and he catches you with your boyfriend or girlfriend. That would be mortifying. During the Yule Ball, Professor Snape is on chaperone duty. He is making sure that all the teenagers aren't doing anything inappropriate. He catches a few of them who have hidden away in carriages, and it's pretty hilarious. But it's also an important scene. Harry sees Snape being confronted by Igor Karkaroff, the headmaster of Durmstrang. Karkaroff is scared of something and wants to know if Snape has noticed the same thing. He demands to see Snape's forearm.
Rolling up your sleeve, huh?
But Snape refuses. It's pretty clear that they are talking about the Dark Mark. Snape also tells Karkaroff,
I have nothing to be scared of, Igor. Can you say the same?
When they cut this scene, we don't find out about the depth of these two men's shared history. It's a really important scene for setting up the friend or foe mystery surrounding Snape. Which scene would have made the final battle so much better? Keep watching to find out.
Good morning, children.
Dolores Umbridge is probably the single most hated character in the entire Harry Potter fandom. She's even worse than Voldemort in a lot of ways. Umbridge is the defense against the Dark Arts professor in Order of the Phoenix. She refuses to put magic into practice and tries to convince everyone that Harry is lying about Voldemort's return.
Dark Wizard is at large once again. This is a lie.
She uses harsh discipline methods and even kicks out Dumbledore. Before she gets carried off by centaurs, Hermione leads her and Harry to the Forbidden Forest. She lies to get Umbridge away from the castle. Umbridge is a mess. She admits,
I really hate children.
Why is she teaching them? But then she delivers a monologue that shows just how messed up she is. She truly believes that she is somehow doing the right thing.
I've tried my very best to bring order, yet at every turn been assailed.
And that makes her extra terrifying. Thankfully, Umbridge gets what she deserves.
Certainly, no one could blame me.
We lose many characters in the Harry Potter series, but one of the most tragic losses is Dumbledore. Before Snape cast Avada Kedavra on the top of the astronomy tower, Dumbledore and Harry were on a mission. They were looking for one of the Horcruxes. Dumbledore had to drink a poison that made him hallucinate horrible things. It left him extremely weak. That whole scene was hard to watch. It got even more upsetting after he finished the poison. The real Horcrux wasn't there. Harry has to help Dumbledore walk because he's so weak. He reassures his professor and says not to worry because they are almost there. Dumbledore says,
I'm not worried, Harry. I'm with you.
That is just so sad. In another cutscene, Harry says,
I don't need luck. I'll be with Dumbledore.
They both count on each other for support. That's a huge emotional burden for him. Then he has to watch Dumbledore take the curse and fall.
You should know, Professor Dumbledore. You meant a great deal to him.
Not a waste of space. The Dursleys are terrible people. They tormented Harry through his entire childhood. Dudley was always a bully too. He learned it from his parents. But in Order of the Phoenix, Harry saves Dudley from the Dementors. In Deathly Hallows Part 1, Harry says goodbye to the Dursleys. They have to leave so that Voldemort won't come after them. Vernon is happy to say farewell to Harry, but Dudley is clearly worried about his cousin. He wants to know why Harry isn't coming. Harry says,
Besides, I'm just a waste of space, isn't that right, Vernon?
Which is what his uncle called him. Dudley comes up and shakes Harry's hand. He says,
I don't think you're a waste of space.
This shows so much character growth on Dudley's part. It was sweet and so emotional. It really touches Harry. He says,
See you, Big D.
which was Dudley's nickname. We were devastated that this scene was cut from the final movie.
Understand me.
Draco Malfoy is a bully through most of the movies. In the 6th film, we start seeing how tormented he is. He was forced to become a Death Eater to make amends for his father, and he really is just a kid. Draco and his cronies go after Harry, Ron, and Hermione during the final battle, but a fiend fire curse starts to burn the Room of Requirement. Harry goes back with his broom to save Draco. When everyone thinks Harry has passed away, Voldemort calls Draco back to stand on the Death Eater's side, but then Harry rolls out of Hagrid's arms. A cutscene shows Draco switching sides. He yells, "Potter!" and runs toward Harry. He tosses him his wand so that he can defeat the Dark Lord. Ultimately, this scene didn't make it into the final cut, but many fans accept this scene as canon, and it's often mentioned in fan fiction. Plenty of people wanted to see Draco do the right thing. Which scene do you wish had made it into the movies? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to The Things. See you next time.